Breaking just moments ago, President Trump says Hamas has until Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, to reach a ceasefire agreement with Israel, or else. The president is calling it their last warning, writing on social media, release the hostages, all of them, including the bodies of those that are dead now. Trump adds that if an agreement is not reached, all hell, like no one has ever seen before, will break out against Hamas. CBS News White House reporter Willie James Inman joins me now for much more. Willie, thank you for joining us today. The president seems to be running out of patience with Hamas here. Your thoughts on his message about all this?
Hey there, Mugo. Well, this seems to be both a message and threat to Hamas as we wait and see in terms of how the group will respond to this peace proposal that the president put forward earlier this week, and that was endorsed by Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel. Of course, that peace deal, once Hamas and if Hamas agrees to it at this deadline that the president set, would call for the release of all remaining hostages, dead or alive, 72 hours after this agreement would be reached. That would also mean an end to the conflict there between Israel and Hamas. But there's still many unanswered questions as to how this agreement, how this would all work out. There are certainly details in this agreement that call into question in terms of Hamas soldiers, for instance, if they were to lay down their arms, be given amnesty and be able to go to other countries. Who were those countries? How would that work? The details, really, we have to wait and see in terms of how that plays out. But the president now, with both this message and threat to Hamas, as we wait and see in terms of how they respond to this peace plan. Remember, this president, he met with Arab nation leaders, of course, who have a stake in this peace proposal, this peace process. And, of course, we saw the president sit down with Prime Minister Netanyahu here at the White House earlier this week to announce this agreement. So this is part of that effort to put pressure on Hamas to come to some type of deal, to agree to this peace plan. A peace plan, the White House says, is the best effort yet, their words, to essentially bring peace to the Middle East with this ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas, Mugo.
Okay, and Willie, while we have you here, I've got to ask you about the government shutdown. It is now day 3. So what do we know about the possibility of mass layoffs today?
Yeah, that's right. And remember, there are already workers who are furloughed and workers who are still on the job. Those essential personnel, for instance, people who work at airports, TSA workers and air traffic controllers who are going without a paycheck in light of this government shutdown as Democrats and Republicans trade barbs and blame over the funding that has essentially lapsed. As you mentioned, we are at day 3. The White House notified government agencies that not only could there be furloughs, but there could also be mass firings if this were to happen. And yesterday, the president said that he was meeting with his director of the Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought, to hear from him details as to how that plan would work out. We asked the press secretary yesterday how many workers could potentially be impacted. She said that number would be in the thousands and that they were working on details in terms of which agencies, which departments will be affected. The press secretary is set to give a briefing at 1 p.m. I anticipate there will be several questions about what details has the White House come up with that they're willing to release about these firings. So a lot of questions there surrounding how this will all work out and how the White House is going about this amid this ongoing government shutdown.
Okay, we shall wait and see. Willie James Inman outside the White House for us today. Thank you.